Welcome and good morning to Atlas and Raptor. Um, I am here covering Wednesday Adams, who is a character I made for Raptor and I's custom unmatched meta, which is 2v2 focused. I will be covering some concepts from the base unmatched board game. Please do not. Hold on, I'm being told I'm being too loud. Sorry. Where was I?
Be muted when I said that. I just walked out of the room to say that to you.
Oh yeah. I'm Atlas, and the other voice there. Say your name. I don't think it was picked up.
Raptor.
There we go. All right.
Yeah, this beginning bit of the video, and maybe the rest of the video might be worse quality.
Yeah, sorry about that. This is my first time. Uh, yeah. So this Wednesday Adams deck is based off of the Netflix representation of the character, as I am not too familiar with the Adams family, or like the base original version. Yeah. So our meta is 2v2 focused, and has a lot of our other custom fighters involved, and they do not cross with the original characters at all. We do have two fighters currently that are not made by us, but we will go over them later. Um, so Wednesday is a melee fighter with 15 health. She has a melee sidekick in as Thing, who has 5 health. Wednesday's ability is called Wednesday's Child is Full of Woe. And her ability is you may discard up to one card from hand to increase the value of any card that Wednesday didn't play by 1. And Wednesday has 2 movement. This ability is very important for the way that she wants to play. She is an executioner, but she doesn't do it herself. She sets up the board, which we'll get to in a bit. Her sidekick Thing has an extra rules card. So after Thing attacks, you place his token in the fighter that he attacked in that play area. At the end of that player's turn, they may either take 1 damage or discard the top 2 cards of their deck. To remove Thing from. If that player wants to remove Thing, then they must end their turn adjacent to an opposing hero. Then you place Thing in the space that player started their movement. If the fighter that Thing attacked is already adjacent to a hero, they still have to maneuver to a different space. So like they can't just maneuver in place and remove Thing, because then Thing has no place to go to. He would go where they are, but they're currently occupying that space, so he cannot go there. So he must be they must move to another spot adjacent to that hero or a different hero. Wednesday has this 4 copy. No, it is 5 copy. A 5 copy scheme. It's called Vision. Only Wednesday can play it. It has a 4 boost value. Look at the top 2 cards from an opponent's. Look at 2 random cards from an opponent's hand. You have +1 on all of Wednesday's attack values for the rest of this turn. Gain 1 action, and it's a 5 copy. This card, I found I don't use it for this effect very much. It is not very useful unless you're solo Wednesday. We'll get into why
And
later.
whenever we are testing, majority of the time we are testing 2v2. Very rarely we do 1v1s. When we first print a character, we do a Buffy test where we have the fighter go against Buffy the Vampire Slayer. The one set, it's an official set. So we don't really do 1v1s that much. So as you said, Vision might be better in 1v1. So basically, when we talk about balance, we're going to be more focusing on 2v2, so keep that in mind.
Yeah. So the only time you would really ever want to use this card for its effect is if Wednesday is the last fighter on her team, so she can try to like get the opponent down. All right, on to the next card. The next card is a Wednesday only, 2-value red. It has a 2 boost, and it's called Wild Accusations. During combat, increase this card's value by 2. If you have played exactly 1 vision this turn. So this card is good for solo Wednesday, so when her teammate is gone. And it wants you to use your visions sparingly. So by playing 1 vision, this card becomes a 5 when you attack with it. Which is pretty good. Normally, this card is just kind of used for the ability. This ability is very powerful, as it can pretty much any time Wednesday's teammate attacks, she can discard a card and increase that value by 1, or she can increase their defense by 1. She can also do the same thing with her sidekick, Thing, because Thing is not Wednesday. And it's just specific to Wednesday not playing that card. The next card is Exploit. It's a 2-copy, 4-value versatile. It's an any, so Thing can play this. It's got a 1 boost value. After combat, draw 1 card. This card has appeared in... It's a common card, so it's appeared in other decks before. Mostly in base Unmatched. But
we do use it a lot.
That's true. Like Dr. Horrible has Exploit. So Exploit is best for Wednesday to use on defense. Just because she does not have a lot of health and not a lot of defense, which is why she relies on teammates a lot more. Or she has to, otherwise it kind of doesn't work out great. The next card, Feint. It's got a 3 boost value, 2-copy. This is more common in base Unmatched. We don't use Feint too much, although we have started to implement it more. Feint kind of also fits well within Wednesday's theme of reading the opponent, as some of the cards have, like you need to read the opponent or get the board positioned correctly. So honestly, I wish I cared a little more. Is a 3-value versatile any, with a 1 boost, and it's a 2-copy. Immediately, if your printed value is equal to or higher than the opposing fighters, end the combat.
I hate this card.
Yeah, because
so
I always know when to play it against you.
yeah, so in our meta we have a lot more 3 values than normal Unmatched because they because we have some combos and whatnot. So this card can just be annoying to me because I normally am fighting Wednesday rather than playing Wednesday.
Yeah. This card, it's so annoying when they play like a 4, because this is just a better feint if you can get it to trigger. And I mean, if you do fail, it's a 3, which is pretty good. I use it on defense. I don't think it's great on offense, just because it's a 3, and again, not a lot of defense in this deck. You do need to kind of know the deck of the opponent and play around what they might be playing at the moment. So like if Demogorgon is playing, like if you think the Demogorgon is playing the monster, maybe not a great idea to defend with this unless it's like your last card, because Wednesday does not want to take a lot of damage. Her team suffers if she dies. The next card is a 2-copy called Somewhere No One Can Hear Your Screams. It's a 2-value attack card. It's an any with 1 boost. During combat, if there are 2 or less opposing fighters in your zone, ignore the opponent's value. Otherwise, move the opposing fighter to any other space adjacent to a friendly fighter. So this card is very... It can be hard to pull off because of the way that the effect is. Because the opponent can kind of stop this top bit by having teammates in their zone. But this part here is good for setting up for your teammate or for future turns. The 1 boost isn't great. It's good for the ability. That's how I tend to use it. I use a lot of cards for the ability, because it's a pretty good ability.
Thing can play this card though.
Yeah.